Today we're going to be drawing a guardian. Guardians are ancient machines and recurring enemies in Zelda Breath of the Wild. So to do this drawing, you're going to need a black marker, a black pencil crayon, a pencil, and an eraser. So to get started, we're going to draw, it's sort of like a rounded rectangle, almost a square. And then underneath it, we're doing another rounded rectangle. Remember, you can pause at any time if you need to catch up or fix anything on your drawing. Once you have those two shapes, we're going to start by drawing the legs. So just a rounded top and squiggle it downwards. We're just doing the outline. So a rounded top and squiggle it downwards. You know what? I didn't really like that one, so I'm just going to go in with my eraser and change the shape a bit. That works better. And the ones that are sort of in the background here, I don't do a rounded shape at the top. I just do them coming out of the edge. So like that one would be behind the body. And that's why we can't see the top of it. So now we have all the shapes of the legs. I'm gonna go in and draw a circle on the top shape and another circle within it. And two small circles to either side. And then around all of those shapes, I'm going to do an outline. Off the outline, I'm going to do this little curly Q shape. We're going to be drawing a lot of these on the body. So now underneath, I'm going to start another one. So it's half a circle, and then on the inside, I did another half circle. And then coming out of the side of that, I did a little curly Q. You can do these however you want. I just made them up and I thought these looked nice, but I think that every guardian could have its own style of circular curly Q type shapes on it. So if it doesn't look exactly the same as this one, that's okay. So I think I've got the shapes that I want at the top. I'm going to do two rounded curves coming out of the edge. And then I'm going to draw the shape of these components that are on the head. So that's the one on the left. It's like a circle with a bit of a upside down triangle beside it. I don't like the shape of that one. Let's try that again. And then I put a circle inside of that. And in the middle of both of them, I'm going to do this sort of rounded rectangle shape. So now I'm going to do some of these circular pattern designs on more of the body around the legs. So again, this is a guide. You can follow this and do exactly what I'm doing. That's okay. But if you want to do your own style and your own shapes, feel free to do that. Because I looked at a lot of pictures of these before I drew this, and they all looked a little different to me. So I'm also going to add some shape to the base of the guardian because I'm going to outline that with the marker and I'm probably going to erase the pencil shape there in the background. I think we have a pretty good body. So now we need to start drawing the details on the arms. So each arm has a claw at the end of it. And then I drew these lines along the arms because it's like a robotic arm, right? So we're going to do that for each and every arm. Okay, so it's looking pretty good. I think it's time we get our black marker and start outlining the parts that we like. While we're outlining, I wanted to give a shout out to Luke. This was Luke's request, and I thought it was a great idea for a guided draw. It's not something I would have thought to do without his inspiration, so thanks for that, Luke, and I hope that you enjoy drawing this with me.
So once we've outlined everything, you want to grab your eraser and just erase all the leftover pencil marks. So now that I've erased everything, I'm going to grab my pencil and we're going to go back in and do some shading. So on one side of the arm, I'm going to do it darker. So I'm going to shade in that side. Same thing for this one. I'm shading it in darker on one side. The ones in the back are going to be heavy with shading on both sides. You can still do one side a little bit darker, but because they're in the background, they're darker because they're just not seeing as much light that you would see in the foreground. So that's why I shaded them in darker overall. So we did shade the one side darker. We can also go in and shade lightly on the right hand side too, the other side, to give it a cylindrical look. And here's a trick. If you shade too much, you can go in with your eraser and erase a line down the middle. And then I'm going to shade the claws dark on the inside, lighter on the outside. So you can see how I did the dark on the inside there, and then just go lighter on the outside. So I thought this looked pretty good, but when I was looking at it at the end, I thought, you know what? I need to go in with an even darker pencil and create more depth with the shadows. So I have a black pencil crayon and I'm just going to go in here and do it a little bit darker on the headpiece, especially on the right hand side. And then I can go into the detailing on the shapes on the head. I'm going to really darken the V shapes there and under the circles as well. We can go in around the eye or the laser, whatever you want to call it. And I put a little bit of more shading in there with the darker color just to really make it pop. And the other part that I wanted to make darker was the base of the creature. So the bottom of the guardian here, I wanted to make that quite dark, just so you know that's, the underbelly. I also went over some of the darker parts of the mechanical arms. And then I put some of this black pencil crayon on the body, like in between the curly Q shapes to make them really stand out and pop. And that's it. That's our guardian. And if it doesn't look exactly like this, what you drew, that's okay. Everybody draws differently. I hope that you had fun drawing this with me.